we need to talk, okay? We're gonna talk about this. All right, so I already talked about my introductory to sci-fi romance with Miss Elizabeth Stevens. A close second, okay? And this one was a lot more hesitation involved. A close second to my sci-fi romance, like head dive in to the world was Ursa Dax, okay? We're gonna talk about Ursa Dax because I saw her randomly pop up my FYP, and she was talking about kangaroo gladiators, and I was like, what is a kangaroo? And she was describing it, talking about it, using like these different audios to go with it. And I was just like, changing the audio don't change the fact it's a kangaroo. You just described a kangaroo man, like a humanoid kangaroo. And so I was like, is this a thing? Is there like a market for this? Because I've heard of reptilians. I've heard of other mammal-esque things, you know, like wolves, cats, like all that stuff. I have never in my life heard about kangaroo gladiators. But y'all, I gave it a chance. Cause like, you know what? Because some of the lines she was saying, the quotes from the book, and like the general vibes I was like, this is actually a pretty good plot line. Like, this is really good. And so I gave it a shot. Alien Tyrant is book number 1. Poor guy. That sweet poor man. He was so clueless, y'all. And that's like, when people talk about the miscommunication trope, that's what I envision. I don't like the whole like Romeo and Juliet type of miscommunication. That's weird to me. That's stupid, especially in modern society. Like, that shouldn't happen. But to me, miscommunication is there's a literal language barrier, and there's literal cultural differences that both parties are not understanding. To me, that's what miscommunication trope is. This poor fellow, this giant being, 7 feet tall, mind you, is trying to figure out what this small human woman is trying to say, and why she's acting the way she's acting, because it's not making any sense. Like, based on how he lives in his culture, she's not trying to survive. Like, she's literally got a death sentence because she's ignorant. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but like, she's not aware of how dangerous that planet is to her species in general. So I'm not gonna give any spoilers. I'm not gonna say anything like, you know, to give away the plot or anything, but like, I just think that's a fascinating concept, because that's just the premise of book 1 going forward. And there are 13 books in existence right now. She's working on 14. I really enjoy the series. Like, it's that if a series keeps me up at night because I'm trying to read it, that's a good series. I really enjoy the book. I love the story. I love the characters. I like the world building she gave in. I think this was a unique situation where she didn't have to like go deep on the language part, the difference of language. There was also a language barrier, but she didn't have to create a language of the Seasand Warriors to be able to convey like the disconnect between the species, the humans and them. But she has a few words, obviously, that's in their language. And I think the way she writes her story, and that the relationship that does build between the characters, the human women versus the Seasand Warriors, I think it's amazing. I think it's great. And there's a diversity of the characters. There's the diversity of the personalities of everyone involved. And I really enjoy it's cute. It's a very cute, like, way of going about the whole plot. Overall, I think I would highly recommend it. It's cute. It's not, like, a daunting read. Like, the books, I read them all in KU, and I'm progressively getting them all in physical copies with the paperback. It's so amazing because, like, the way she writes is enough that, like, they all build on each other. They're all connected. But it's well written enough that, like, she has a Patreon. She has short stories or, like, offshoots of the main storyline to have like little side stories, and I enjoy that because there's so many characters involved. Like, you're always going to wonder, like, well, what happened in this time period for these two characters, what happened in this time period for those characters, or what were they doing in the meantime. So that's my personal thing. I like when an author is write a storyline that has enough openness that you can actually have that. And I think what's nice about that is on her Patreon, like, you get to vote. Like, what do you want to read about? What do you want to hear? What storylines do you want to, are you interested in? So like I just mentioned, so she is on Instagram, she's on TikTok, she has a Patreon account, and I am on all 3 of them bitches. And I just got her newsletter. I was so slow. I should have been on there. But yeah, she'll like put teasers out there and just kind of like other promo stuff about her stuff, her works. And I got on that arc as soon as possible. I got my little arc copies. I'd be tearing up my notes section, tearing up my highlights, because as soon as I'm done with this, I'm posting. And I got her on, not speed dial, but like on TikTok, I'll be commenting, Ursa Dax, look at this, blah, blah, blah. I'll tag her on my stuff, and we be laughing and kiki gaha, because it's hilarious, because that's just how the characters are, and I think that's so great when you can actually like when I can relate a character to a song lyric, to a theme, to something that's obviously relatable that gets other people involved and engaged and wanted to read it. I think that's really cool because I discovered, I'm not saying I discovered her like the first person, but like when I came across her, I thought I'll give it a shot because it was a little weird to me because it wasn't my normal, but now it's my normal. I love Borodai. Razek, bruh, please. When you take a chance on indie authors, like you never know what you're gonna get, but when you like them, you like them. You hype them up and you get people like to see them. Like you like, yo, check them out. And I post some of my socials, and that seems like a no-brainer. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it, and if I like it enough, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to hype you up. And a few of my videos went a little, mini viral kind of thing, which is great because I love getting press for those authors because, indie authors need support. But she's a legitimately good writer, and I really enjoy her. Overall, I highly recommend her, and again, I'll put all her socials and stuff in this video in like the description box, and I highly recommend you subscribe to the Patreon. So like I said, there's 13 books currently out. She's working on book 14 as of now, and I think she's hoping to have that out sometime middle of the month. But obviously she has life, she has obligations, she has things, so who knows. But like I said, I think from my rating system of the 13 books, the books that got the highest rating for me was Alien Shield and Alien Heart. Alien Shield, I believe, is book 8, Alien Heart, book 11. Those books are so sweet. And I know it's like 8 and 13, you gotta read it, and again, like I said, they're not hard reads. Like, she writes well. I'm not saying like anything like that, but like the story flows very well together. Like, you need to read them to get that better understanding of what's going on. But the characters are so adorable. Like, and not like not like a pity adorable, like it's adorable like how their dynamics are and how their relationships, and it's like kind of a slow burners thing, and it's like, oh, I don't know, should I? Girl, do it. Hop on it. I mean, literally hop on him. And, so that's kind of like the dynamic, and I think it was cute and fun. So those two are the highest rating books I had at 4.58. The average rating I gave for the series so far was 4.33. And I'm so excited for book 14. Like, I cannot express it. Like, I've been in a reading slump because of my anticipation waiting for this book, y'all. Like, I cannot it's been killing me. And this is no pressure to the author. I know she got to do her thing, whatever, make her magic work, but I'm just waiting. I'm literally like going feral waiting. But like I said, I'm very excited. I hype her up as much as I can. I talk about her. I even made like a little mini series on my TikTok, like BTS of Zafranax, or Partying in Zafranax, Karaoke in Zafranax, because I thought it was funny because those characters have such strong personalities that, like, boom, like this, it's done deal. Like, if I was making it relatable to like what the human women are more like familiar with, that's how I would see them. That's how I see them acting. So that's a nice comedic way of kind of getting them exposure, those characters, and getting people to fall in love with them, or at least having a little community for people who have read Ursula Dax's works and said, oh my gosh, that's totally that's totally something Kat would say, that's totally something Borodai would do. And I think honestly, like, that's literally why I do it. I do it because it's funny. I do it because it's entertaining, and I just finding my little tribe, because like I said, Kangaroo Gladiators is very niche, right? That was almost a miss for me, but that almost cost me, because this is a great series. I highly recommend it. Give it a shot. Put your like predispositions aside and give it a moment and kind of just read it for what it is and fall in love with it like I did. Enough said.